Bucks fans, do not look at last night's final score because it wasn't representative of the whole game. 109-106. The Bucks get absolutely murdered by the Pacers. The reason I say don't look at the final score is because they were down at 20. They were down by 28 for most of the second half. Welcome to another edition of Milwaukee's Best NBA Podcast. It's actually our first episode of 2018. Happy New Year, Tyler.
Happy New Year.
And 2018, I hope it is, between this season and the beginning of next season, I hope it is filled with blockbuster trades. I hope 2018 is the year the Bucks win the championship. But that's about it. But so far this year, probably one of the biggest stories has been the emergence of the Raptors and DeMar DeRozan. And I think everyone is talking about it because, well, everyone's saying basically this isn't the same old Raptors team. They win, 52 to 58 games in the regular season, and then during the playoffs they either get smoked before they get to LeBron or they get smoked by LeBron, which isn't surprising. That's a common story for all teams in the Eastern Conference playoff picture. It's happened to Washington, it's happened to Boston and Toronto, and I guess Milwaukee and Miami too.
Everybody.
Well, I kind of like the bottom of the East hasn't been consistent in who they've sent to the playoffs each year. The West is more consistent. You know who's going to be in, usually at the start of each season, with the exception of the Clippers, who I at least thought that they would be in the top 7, and then just everything went haywire all at once. Blake Griffin got hurt. They didn't have Teodosic for like the first 20-some games. He was showing some real good signs of improvement last year. Memphis has imploded. I guess no one was expecting Los Angeles to do much, but now they've won their first after losing 9, and they beat the Hawks. That was their last win, so they beat the worst team in the NBA to stop themselves from becoming the worst team in the NBA. But back to Toronto. So one thing you notice if you watch film from last season's Toronto Raptors team and this season's Toronto Raptors team is DeMar DeRozan and their ball movement. DeMar DeRozan has already put up a 52-point game this year. He just did so on the 2nd of January, so about a week ago, against the Milwaukee Bucks. And he's got an incredible team around him. I didn't think that the Raptors would really amount to much after giving away half their bench. They gave away P.J. Tucker, who's actually playing a big role in Houston. They gave up Patrick Patterson, who's been an absolute flaming pile of garbage in Oklahoma City. Damari Carroll is now with the Brooklyn Nets. He's actually one of their leading scorers. So, I guess if that says anything, a lot of times when players go to good role players go to bad teams, they turn into leading scorers a lot of the time. And Damari Carroll, and also what I must note is, Tyler, tell me if this seems surprising for you, but I haven't heard Norman Powell's name once this year.
No, it's not surprising. He got hot during the series against the Bucks last year. And towards the end of last year, he started to make big shots for them, and they had him in the rotation heavy. But I think he's kind of slowly got worked out the rotation, especially with Corey Joseph, coming off the bench behind Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, and Toronto, what about Serge Ibaka, man?
Serge is just,
he's like the perfect
Last
fit.
year was his first year on the Raptors, correct?
Yes, he got traded towards the end of the season. I think that was the deal that involved Terrence Ross to the Magic.
Right.
That was originally, because originally what happened, OKC swapped, wasn't it Vic O and, or Vic O was off season, but it was Ibaka and someone else, and it was absolute just steal of a trade by Oklahoma City. And, because I think they brought back, I'm trying to remember. Look up that trade for me real quick if you can.
Yeah. But Serge, he's always been a great player. We know that, when he was on the Thunder. Last year was kind of an off year for him, but when you get tossed into a system that is completely foreign to you, you gotta adjust. And now I think he's settled in his role at for the Raptors right now.
Yeah, and
he's making a huge difference, And even if you look, compared to Valanciunas on the team, he's putting up more, more everything, and he's even getting more minutes.
Valanciunas or Ibaka?
He's getting more minutes than Valanciunas.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, and that Toronto game we went to on Friday, Valanciunas plays. I think he played 6 minutes. 6 or 4 minutes. No, it was 6 minutes. He played 6 minutes in the first half with 0 points. Second half,
0 points, 4 rebounds.
Second half, he comes in, scores 20 in the third quarter, and has
13 rebounds.
13 rebounds in one quarter.
It was unbelievable.
Insane.
We were sitting there at the game, and I was telling Aaron, every time he scored, I'm like, Aaron, this guy's going off right now. What's going on? And every time he got the ball, he would score or get fouled, go to the free throw line, he grabbed rebounds. He was just doing everything. And this was the entire third quarter. Him and DeMar DeRozan only had, 8 points in the first half?
The entire team just turned it on. It was crazy. It was 2 different games, half to half. I still blame or credit the dog that crapped on the floor at halftime.
That was hilarious.
They didn't appear to sanitize it very well from what I saw. They brought a rag in, so that they probably all had pink eye during last night's game. That's what happened. But anyway, dude, Toronto is. I want to go Serge Ibaka. I want to go back to him. He's looking back. He's looking just like the old Serge, plus some added range, I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
I guess he's always been like a kind of a more of a 3-point shooting big man, but it's the chase down blocks that we're seeing a return of, especially compared to his last year at OKC when he got traded. I guess when you get traded twice, in the matter of a season. Or no, was it season to season?
Well, this was the trade from the Orlando Magic traded Serge Ibaka for Terrence Ross and a 2017 first round pick.
Wow. So all you get back for Serge Ibaka is Terrence Ross and a pick that basically is bottom of the draft.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. And the Magic are in complete turmoil right now. It's just been an ugly year since the first, I want to say, month of the season for Orlando. They went from being, I believe it was 12-5 or something, and now they are. No, they didn't lose that many straight, did they? No, they didn't lose straight, but or no, they were 7-8, 9-2 or something, and now they're 12-28.
Unbelievable.
So they fell real fast. It was a fluke. Injuries hit. Injuries kind of brought them down, and then they never seemed to really get back up because most of those players, except for Vucevic, he's still hurt, but Fournier was hurt. Elfrid Payton's back, but I don't think Elfrid Payton's that good. I don't like him as a point guard that much. I just think I don't know, man. He just doesn't fit. yeah, the Orlando Magic are complete opposites of the Toronto Raptors right now. Very much so in record and in just everything else. Toronto can rebound the ball. Orlando can't. Toronto can play defense very well. Orlando cannot. And, the proof is in the record and talent-wise. And Toronto is just showing their incredible depth that no one really saw coming. They don't have Corey Joseph and all the other players that I said before. But some new guys have stepped up. And some guys I didn't even... Aloja, or how do you pronounce his name?
I forgot. I don't even want to try.
Oh man, let's go to the roster quick. We gotta pronounce this.
I'm not even trying.
Okay. Let's. Oh, by the way, I need to tell you before we're done with the Toronto subject. Okay. You need to go listen to the Woj pod. Adrian Wojnarowski. Everyone listening right now needs to go listen to the Woj pod. He had an incredible sit-down interview with DeMar DeRozan yesterday, actually. The Toronto Raptors are off, and during their off day, DeRozan joined Adrian Wojnarowski in the studio. And one of the things they talked about was how during the first year that Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan were teammates, they didn't say a word to each other. They didn't have each other's phone numbers. At one point, DeMar DeRozan was thinking about requesting a trade because the situation there was so awkward. And now look where the Raptors have come. DeMar DeRozan is maybe a poor man's Kobe, but he is now one of the most just dominant offensive players in the Eastern Conference, especially since in the offseason he worked on his three-point game incredibly, and you're seeing the improvements. And the Raptors, Tyler, how do you think they will do in the playoffs this year?
The playoffs, I got them going to the second round. Maybe third. I don't know. I can't really guarantee the third. It just depends on who they're matched up with, Matchups are key in the playoffs.
Let's say they face the Bucks again, right? And the Bucks, everyone, at least I do. No, not everyone. This is me saying this, but the Bucks look like the exact same team as last year in terms of their ability to win, and So if they were to play Milwaukee in a rematch series from last year, how do you think the series would go this time around?
I don't know. It's hard. Again, it's still early in the season. It's hard to say, but it's going to be a fight. I don't think it'll be a 4-1 or not even 4-2.
How about based on the last two games you saw? Game 1 was at Toronto, and it was actually very close. Bucks did not play defense in either game. DeMar DeRozan went for 52 points in that first game.
No, the Bucks. That was your opinion. In the first game, the Bucks played excellent defense. Everywhere else,
they gave up 130 points, and even though it was overtime, it was
right. And they were battling it out. It was just a hot game for Toronto and for DeMar DeRozan. I mean, guys were in his face. It was Chris Middleton. I mean, it was one time he had his hand over his eyes, and he still hit the shot.
Right.
When a player's having that kind of night, it's almost nothing you can do. As sad as it sounds, but that's just how it happens in the NBA. You got a pool full of talent that can do that at any point in their career. I mean, look at Devin Booker. Look at that game. They weren't just not playing defense on him. He's just on fire.
Right. I don't even think it's just DeMar being on fire. I think this is the new DeMar, the new and improved DeMar DeRozan.
I wouldn't say that because his stats aren't even equal to what he was putting up last season.
I think that's why he's better now. I think that's a result of their more ball movement.
Well, it's not he's better. Toronto's playing better as a team. Everybody, again, it was to say when I went back to, about Sergi, and the players mold into that team, that form, like they've been playing together for a couple years now, so they, almost all of them, except for Sergi, he was the new guy on, Kyle Lowry, DeMar, Valanciunas.
Right. The reason his numbers aren't up. DeMar DeRozan's numbers are, maybe a little less than this year, but his percentages are up. That's what I look at.
Yeah, that's true.
He's a much
taking better shots.
Taking better shots, which I think speaks to a player's maturity. As all players mature as they get more experienced. So I think knowing that, what we've seen, we have better team play. Their defense has always been good. They're a good defensive team. They got big guys. They play hard every night. They're athletic. They can play. You can stick Serge Ibaka at the 3 if you want to go like really big, or you can play him at the 5, or even not play him at all and play like someone like Pirtle or a newbie. That's who it is. At the 5, and they just have so many options when it comes to their roster. I think Dwayne Casey's a great coach too, and because of this, I didn't get around to it yet, but I think they will be more potent in the playoffs. I think they've had so much experience now, and they could, steal some games from LeBron. They could catch him on an off night. I think Toronto's too good not to win a multiple playoff series this year.
Yeah, they'll definitely play, better than, previous years, but the Toronto's one of those teams with the injury bug, and especially around that time of the year. Kyle Lowry was knee out part of the playoffs last year. I think later on in the playoffs, Valanciunas he's kind of
a lot of the
prone
season too. DeMar DeRozan's injury prone.
Exactly,
and
so you can't guarantee they'll have the same roster come playoff time.
So why don't we just chalk it up to injuries then? Can we do that?
I don't know. I don't want to wish injuries upon anybody.
No, I'm just saying chalk it up. Like just I don't want to either. Obviously, I just saying we could blame it on the injuries. That's why they haven't been.
Look
good.
at their record at home, 14-1.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm pretty sure that's the best record in the.
It's got to be
East, and let's take a look at the West.
Got to see Golden State, right? Golden State's got to be up there.
No, 14-1 is the best record. Oh, San Antonio 18-2. Okay, we probably got to give it to them.
How much is that better by though? Is that like? I don't know. I can't figure out percentage points right now, but
they're definitely playing better basketball, team ball. So I think. You know what I think? It's either going to be Cleveland or Toronto that finishes first in the East this year.
I still can't rule out Boston, man.
I've been ruling them out since day one.
I know you have,
and I'm gonna continue to. They play. It seems like they're gonna be a team. We don't know this yet because it's still a new team, but I think in my mind they're gonna be one of those teams that play well, very well in the regular season, and not that well towards the end of the year, and when it really counts. And I think between Toronto and Cleveland, they got enough experience to make that push at the end of the season after All-Star break and get their team on a run, to be able to finish in first place. It's going to be a close race this year, but I got Boston finishing at least third. I got them in third right now.
Do you know what Boston's record would have to be going throughout the rest of the season?
Right. And
no, listen to me here. The record they would have to go the rest of the way out to be at 500 would be 8-31.
Not 500.
Yeah,
I'm not saying 500.
I know, but I'm just putting it into perspective. Like we're already 43 games. They're 43 games through their schedule already.
Right.
And
I'm not saying they're going to go 500.
Yeah, I know,
I'm saying they're not going to finish in first place, and I think they're going to lose a spot to Toronto and Cleveland.
I just think it would take too epic of a meltdown, even if they go.
Not even, because look at Toronto's record. They're right behind them. They're 28-10, and Boston's 33-10.
Sure,
so they got a few more games to catch up to them, but they're playing very well. And Cleveland's 26-14, so they still have a couple games to catch up to. But I just think once they get closer towards the end of the season and after All-Star break, I think they're going to start to slow down. And whether it be another one of their players going down or, just bad team play, we still haven't seen a great Boston team without Kyrie.
I'm not expecting them to be that great without Kyrie, though.
Well, that's where you got them, though. You got them at number one in the East. That's a great team, then.
I don't have them number one. They're going to be 1 or 2. They're going to be at least number 2. That's where I have them at. And I think that Boston.
I think I'm being. I'm not really being generous, but I give them third. I will give them third. Out of all the rest of the teams, I don't think Washington's going to catch up, or obviously Miami or the Bucks. Boston, unless they really melt down like a 500 meltdown. I don't think that's going to happen, but
yeah, it could be like the Heat a season ago where they lose.
I think it's going to be a few games in a row that they lose.
Oh yeah, we haven't seen it, and most NBA teams don't have their foot on the gas. I think if anything, if they melt down, it'll be because they're tired. That's what I think it'll be, because they've clearly,
and they're playing hard ball, and they got a rotation down. Their specific players, and Tatum might hit a rookie wall. You never know, or Jaylen Brown might slow down.
And I think he will, because 40% of that starting lineup is sophomore, players, so to speak. And I think their inexperience tells them go all out whenever you can, because you have something to prove when you're a rookie or a second-year player, right? So the mindset is for you to give it 100% every single game. That's not sustainable in an 82-game NBA season. No seasoned veteran gives it 110% for 82 games. That's proof. Chris Middleton has come out and said he doesn't give it 100% every game. I mean, whether you like it or not, it's true. And he just happens to be the one guy who's saying it. That's all. But I really can't rule Boston out. Marcus Smart's like their Achilles heel. Basically, they play how he plays.
Their Achilles heel, Marcus Smart is a part of that, but their Achilles heel is no bench play. And, they put up solid enough bench, so their defense is really good. So they make a lot of things happen off of their defense, but
I think they have one of the best rotations at the 5 spot in the league.
Yeah, exactly.
Between Baines, who's Tyson or Tice? Yeah, it's Tice. He I think he's a rookie, but he's been playing really well this year. And then of course Al Horford,
right,
who's at the 5. So that's that's got to be one of the best big man
it's
platoons in the
pretty
NBA,
solid.
Man.
But as you look at a team like the Spurs or
how about
Cleveland or just teams that are always there, at the end of the season, they all have a very solid bench. And that's what you need, especially at that time of the year. Like you said, everybody's winding down at the end of the season. That's a long 82 games is a lot of games to play, especially, you're putting a lot of pressure on your body You playing 3, maybe 4 games a week.
And then add 28 more if you play all 7-game series and go to the finals.
Exactly, like LeBron asked for the last,
that's over 100
8
games,
years.
Man. Yeah, LeBron's been playing 100 games a year, dude.
Nobody, I think he might have the record eventually just for how many
games played.
Yeah, games played. But you need those bench players to come in and provide solid minutes. Every single year on the Spurs, 1 or 2 players off the bench just come out of nowhere. You like, oh, who is this kid? Who is Simmons? Why, who is Simmons? He came out of the D League, and they always find these players that produce big minutes, and that's what you need, And out of Boston, I just don't see it. I'm sorry. Hey, Baines, when it gets down to closer, not even okay. I'll say in the playoffs. In the playoffs, he's just not even going to be a factor.
Right.
They're going to have to play Al Horford. And how old is Al Horford? He's not going to be able to play all of those minutes in, every single game. It just doesn't work like that. Their starting 5 they've done very well without Gordon Hayward. They've done better than what I expected without Gordon Hayward. But I just think, I don't know. I don't think their team, that team play is going to be there like you said the Toronto Raptors are doing right now. They're looking like a team that can keep up with Cleveland or a big team in the West maybe.
Last year they were so worn out by the time they got to Cleveland after that series with Milwaukee, because Milwaukee makes people play. Because of their length, but Toronto gives LeBron problems. LeBron's admitted it before. They give LeBron problems, and
they didn't give him problems last year in the playoffs.
No, that's what I'm saying. They were so worn. No, they did not at all. And I think it was because of how worn out they were. Man, they did not look. They looked like just a dog in heat. Man, it was just 110-degree day, and you're one of those big hairy dogs that hair touches the ground.
Let's switch it over to the Bucks, man. We haven't even talked about the Bucks yet.
Dude, can we not talk?
No, yeah, we definitely got to talk about the Bucks. The Bucks are doing fine. They're doing fine.
Hold on, I want to make one last statement about Boston. If I'm at the window right now, I'm putting money that Boston gets to the second round. Because if they get to number 4, the bottom 4 of the East,
they're going to get to the second round. I'm not saying they're just going to tank in the playoffs, but I'm saying when it comes to if it comes to them playing Toronto or Cleveland, I don't think they're going to keep up. I think either series they can lose 4-1, 4-2.
We'll see.
I mean that again, LeBron. Especially, we ain't even got to talk about Cleveland because playoff LeBron is completely different, and LeBron is playing one of the best seasons he's ever played right now, and people are hating on him, but he's playing one of the best seasons he's ever played now.
Isaiah Thomas is back,
and Isaiah Thomas is back. Minus the game yesterday. I don't know what happened with them in the Timberwolves. Isaiah Thomas got ejected, but
3 games so far. I think he's
he's proven that he's going to be a huge factor in the rest of the season. 2
out of 3 games he's shown resemblance of old Isaiah. We'll just give the third one. We'll say he got
ejected.
Right, he got ejected.
There you go.
Yeah. When did he get ejected?
That was last night.
No, like what point of the game?
That was what was it? Second quarter?
Second.
I can't remember.
Yeah, if it was in the first half, and what are you gonna really do? Most players like him don't get going until the second half when it matters. So,
but yeah, I'm when it comes to Boston, I'll just leave it at I feel like they're gonna slow down. After I'll just give them after All-Star break, they're gonna slow down and they're not gonna do as well as they've done
about Boston, right?
Yeah,
okay,
and especially in the playoffs, I don't think they're gonna make it past the second round.
Well, we'll put a bet on it.
Oh, wait. I don't think they're gonna make it past the second round.
You don't think they're gonna make it past the second round?
I'll give them the first round.
You want to put 10, 20 on it right now?
Sure.
How much? You decide.
It doesn't matter. $20.
Want to put a 20 piece
friendly
on it?
$20.
All right, 20 piece.
There you go.
Shake the hand. That's the sound of our hands. You can't hear him shaking. But yeah, we just put 20. I'm saying they will make it past the second round. You're saying
I don't think they'll make it to the
second
Eastern
round or
Conference
worse
Finals.
and lose in the second. Okay. All right, there you have it. So hopefully the listeners can keep track and remind us if comes to be. I'm assuming they both make the playoffs, Toronto and Boston, but
Yeah, I'm not questioning that. They'll both make it.
Also, we do not have that much time to talk Bucks this week. One, because I'm too pissed off about last night to say anything rational about them, and two, we got to talk about what we promised the last 2 weeks. Who we think are the best. It may be obvious, but what teams we think or what schools have produced the best NBA talent, and we are going to play captain of college all-star teams. So let's start with. We'll save Kentucky for last because most of you probably think they're the best. Let's start with Kansas. I'm going to read off the list to you, and you tell me. I think Kansas has 15. You tell me 3 you would leave out of these guys, and I'll read them multiple times if you want me to. Okay, so there's Joel Embiid, Andrew Wiggins, Markieff Morris, Marcus Morris, Josh Jackson, Mario Chalmers, Nick Collison, Ben McLemore, Brandon Rush, Tariq Black, Kelly Oubre Jr., Frank Mason. Kelly. Okay. Wayne Selden, Cole Aldrich, and some guy. I can't even pronounce his name, man.
You know what? I'll tell you 3 right away. You can leave out Mario Chalmers. I always thought he was garbage. Even through his rings, he shouldn't have got any rings with LeBron. And D-Wade, I'm sorry, he's garbage.
I don't think
that little janky shot that he hit, that his foot was on the line. I don't care what anybody says. His foot was on the line in the national championship game. They shouldn't have went to overtime. And you can leave out both of the twins. Morris twins. They're
not a fan of?
Nope, I'm not a fan of them. Sorry.
I know you hate them, but I think they are great role players with their current team.
Sure.
They are. I think they're solid NBA players.
Sure.
And the reason I hate them is I don't hate them, but they always seem to pick fights with everyone. They're always getting into trouble off the court.
They're just not that good. I don't think they're that good.
They're not, and they're definitely not all-stars. If either of them is on an all-star team, I will be pissed because they are not all-stars.
No, they shouldn't even get close.
But I don't see how you can really. They're better than Ben McLemore, man. Come on.
No, Ben McLemore is way better. I think they're better. He's better than all 3 of those guys.
Frank Mason, let's just go based on where they are. So you build it like an NBA roster.
I'll take Frank Mason.
You've got your
I'll take Frank Mason all day.
You didn't even let me finish, but Tyler's got Frank Mason. Okay. So who's your starting 5 then?
My starting 5. All right. At the 1. Oh, no, you can't really do it like that, but let me get Josh Jackson. He's got a lot of potential. Let me get Josh Jackson,
yep.
Joel Embiid,
okay.
Andrew Wiggins.
So you're starting young.
And so, who am I missing? I'm missing somebody.
Nick Collison?
I'll take Nick Collison. He's always been a very solid role player. And then last one, I'd take
Kelly Oubre.
I'd take Tariq Black.
Really? Over
Yep.
Kelly Oubre?
Yep.
All right. Okay, so let's for me it would be Embiid, Wiggins. The Morrises are my 6th men. They're 6 and 7 for me. Not Mario Chalmers. I'll take Collison. I'll take Oubre. Give me Josh Jackson. So yeah, Embiid, Wiggins, Jackson, Oubre, and who did I say? Collison. So those are my 5.
So you just swapped out Oubre basically
with Black.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
I like Tariq Black. He's pretty solid.
Obviously, this one's going to be a little more fun. Duke.
There you go.
All right. So Duke Blue Devils. First on the list, Kyrie Irving. Then we got Austin Rivers, Jason Tatum, Lance Thomas, Justice Winslow. Winslow touched it. Kyle Singler, Miles Plumlee, Mason Plumlee, Tyus Jones, Brandon Ingram, Rodney Hood, Josh McRoberts, Semi Ojeleye, Jabari Parker, Luke Kennard, J.J. Redick, Jahlil Okafor, Seth Curry, and Luol Deng. These are players who are active.
Solid.
That's why I kept it. So, we're not even going to bother making a roster. There's so many players. So, starting 5.
No, we can make a roster.
I guess, but it's like...
Oh, yeah, starting 5. Yeah,
let's make a rotation. 5. How about that? So let's pick 8 or 9 guys.
No, I want a starting 5.
Okay, starting 5 then.
But let me drop out 3. First of all, Austin Rivers, you're out of here. He's the first person out of here. Now let me really look at the list. Let's see here.
The Plumlees.
No, I like the Plumlees. They were solid.
Not Miles.
They were solid. Both of them.
No, I'm talking about the way they are in the NBA.
Yeah, they were solid. They play solid roles. They just, I don't know. The Bucks didn't give.
They didn't give him way
him
too many minutes.
No,
man.
they didn't.
Yes, they did.
But yeah, let me get Austin Rivers out of there. Sorry, Seth Curry, you gotta go.
I'm saying Luol Deng just because he's super old.
No, we gotta leave Luol in there.
Fine, veteran presidents.
Let's see. Tyus Jones, he could go too.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan.
Right.
All right, so my starting 5. Kyrie Irving, that's not even a question. Give me Brandon Ingram.
Sure.
That's 2. Let me get Jahlil. I'll take Jahlil Okafor.
Really?
Let me get Jabari. And you know what? I gotta take Mr. Better Basketball, J.J. Redick. Perfect 3-point form.
Oh,
I got to take him on the team.
All right, here's me. I'm picking Kyrie Irving and Jason Tatum because they already have great synergy together. Give me a healthy Jabari Parker. So give me what I think Jabari. Yep, I'm going Jabari Parker for sure. He has the most one of the highest upsides. Anyone from this list. So Kyrie, Jason Tatum, Jabari Parker. Give me Rodney Hood.
Yeah,
I'll take Rodney Hood. He's playing great for the Jazz this year, even though he has been hurt a lot. So who am I missing? I'm missing a 5, aren't I?
I mean, you don't have to go center. You could just go,
I'm not picking Okafor, dude. I'm not an Okafor fan.
That's fine.
Let's go small. Let's go Brandon Ingram.
Okay.
So we're gonna.
Well, he's not really small, but
yeah, he's not small, but he's a small 5.
No. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, he's
sure.
He's more like a Jabari
I got
Parker.
What you're saying.
Okay, so that's Duke.
Yeah, that was pretty fun there.
Yeah.
Austin Rivers is the worst person on that in this entire section here.
I think it's entire 3 or 4 pages of. Let's go. This is who low key might be the best one right here, and you won't believe me, but I say Texas.
Oh yeah,
all right.
I see that for sure.
Kevin Durant, Miles Turner, Tristan Thompson, Corey Joseph, Avery Bradley, Damian Jones, DJ Augustin, L.A. LaMarcus Aldridge, and P.J. Tucker.
Okay.
I will take that team in a heartbeat any day. NBA Finals.
So if I got to get rid of 3,
no, you don't because
I'm getting rid of 3. Let's see here.
It's only 9 players, so that's a 6-man rotation, dude.
Damian Jones, he can go.
Yeah. P.J. Augustin.
P.J. Tucker can go.
Really?
Yep. I would have to take him off of the list.
Great defender, man.
And you know what? I would have to take out DJ Augustine, I guess.
Yeah. Those would be not PJ Tucker. I think I'd give up Corey Joseph.
Now my starting 5 is going to be Kevin Durant.
Starting at small
whatever.
forward.
He's
Starting at small forward.
1 through 5
times Monstars. Kevin Durant.
Yep, I got Kevin Durant. I got LaMarcus Aldridge. I got Avery Bradley. Give me Tristan Thompson. He's such a solid rebounder. He plays great defense. And my 5th, TJ Ford. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. That's it. TJ Ford is the man, dude. But my 5th is gonna have to be Corey Joseph. I like Corey Joseph. I like his potential. He's playing well, and he's just. Only thing is, all of his career, 3 years now, 4 years. He's been playing behind, star point guards, Kyle Lowry and Tony Parker. So
yeah, he could be a starter on a
he could be a starter.
On a mid-level
he could come to the
team.
Bucks and start. Before Bledsoe trade.
No, I don't think he'd start on the Bucks.
Before the Bledsoe trade,
before the Bledsoe trade,
he would come over and start on the Bucks.
Even then, he'd start over Snell. Here we go with, here's mine, all right? I'm doing Kevin Durant for sure. Miles Turner, I'm going to go pretty big in this lineup. LaMarcus Aldridge, Avery Bradley, and give me DJ Augustine at starting point guard. I like Corey Joseph as like a 3-point sniper off the bench, or a PJ. Same with PJ Tucker. I can't start PJ Tucker because he is. While his best year was at Phoenix. But
he's a solid role player, but I'm just not a PJ Tucker fan.
Tristan Thompson comes off the bench for me too. You have too many talented big guys in Turner and Aldridge for me to start Thompson. I think PJ Tucker would actually come before Thompson.
Well, again, it's not a starting 5. It's just the best 5 players that you think.
I guess I'm thinking of this more this is my team. And
you don't need to have point guard, shooting guard, small forward. Just the best, the first 5 players you would pick.
Okay,
off of
I
list.
want to do it that way. You can do best 5. I'm going to do starting 5.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. So what do you think? Is this the best school? Do you think in the NBA right now? Based on where all the
I don't know.
players.
Let's keep going. Let's figure it out at the end of the.
All right. Let's do. How about Roy Williams in North Carolina?
I love North Carolina.
Yep.
One of my favorite schools. I love watching them play basketball. I grew up watching North Carolina.
No, not Michael Jordan.
VC was on.
We were too young.
North Carolina, and I mean, one of my favorites
Raymond
was
Felton.
Tyler Hansbrough. He's always one
John
of my
Henson.
favorites. No, and you know what? At North Carolina, I actually liked John Henson, and then when I heard he was coming to the Bucks, I was kind of excited, and he just didn't do anything.
He was. I'm not sure if he still is, but he was my brother's favorite player favorite Buck.
Yeah.
Yep. So here in North Carolina, we got Harrison Barnes, Tony Bradley, Ed Davis, John Henson, Marvin Williams, Raymond Felton, Danny Green for 3. Vince Carter, Brandon Wright, Wayne Ellington, Tyler Zeller, Justin Jackson. Why can I not read that? Bryce Johnson.
Okay.
Right? Reggie Bullock.
You don't have Ty Lawson on there?
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't show him on the list.
Yeah, he was on North Carolina.
I didn't know that. All right, Ty Lawson.
Ty Lawson and Tyler Hansbrough, Wayne Ellington.
Well, that's embarrassing.
Pondexter was on that team.
I don't think Pondexter and Hansbrough are still playing, though, are they?
I don't know if Tyler Hansbrough is. I don't think Pondexter is either.
Yeah, this was current players.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Well, I thought Ty Lawson's still in the league.
Yeah, Ty Lawson's somewhere in there. But let's see. If I gotta get rid of 3, I gotta get rid of. Well, you know what? This may be obvious, but the first person I'm getting rid of is John Henson. He can leave the NBA right now. I wouldn't care. But John Henson, he's number 1. Let's see. Let me take off. Ooh, it gets a little tougher. Tony Bradley, he can go. And take off Reggie Bullock. He used to do very well in North Carolina. I used to watch his games, but He was just, I don't know. He was just that kind of player that I don't know. I didn't want to cheer for him. He wasn't that. I didn't think he was that good. But starting five, or not starting five, my top five. I want Tyler Zeller. I'm taking VC. I gotta have Vince Carter on the team.
That's straight disrespect if you don't take Vince Carter.
Let me get Harrison Barnes.
Yep.
Let me get Ed Davis.
This school really isn't that. This roster isn't that talented.
No, it is. It is. This is a lot of talent on the team. They
don't have the big star though. They just have a bunch of kind of
not the star players, but
they have role players. They're all role players.
Yeah, and they're all very good role players. And my fifth will be Danny Green.
Sure,
I'll take Danny Green.
I'll start with Green, then I'll go Harrison Barnes. This is where it gets tough. Definitely. Vince Carter. I'm going to take. I'm kind of a low-key Ed Davis fan, man.
Yeah, he's solid.
Every time I watch him, he just plays good basketball.
Yeah, he's a good big man.
Let's take. I want to say Raymond Felton, but I can't.
No, I don't like Raymond Felton. I should have took him off the list.
Oh, jeez. I'll go Tyler Zeller. What am I at now? 4?
I think so.
Give me Marvin Williams, too.
Okay.
Take Marvin.
Marvin is a solid player for sure.
All right.
He's had a good career.
Yeah, it's been, and
he's just always been on bad teams.
Right, he's been on Charlotte for so long.
He was on Atlanta. Yeah. And they were a good team, but they just never went anywhere past like the
I didn't realize how old he was.
Yeah, he's been in the league for a while.
Yeah, because I remember, Marvin Williams. I had his name associated for a long time with someone else, maybe younger, and now I just realized, oh wow, yeah. When I remember when I was a kid, or maybe I'm not sure how old I was when he was at UNC, but I remember him, being one of the big names in college, and I'd be filling out my bracket, and I'd be like, oh, North Carolina all the way. They got Marvin Williams, So, let's go to the Bruins, UCLA.
All right. This gets interesting here.
Big baller brand.
Oh, boy. Big burglar brand.
Right. Kyle Anderson. Luke Ba-Mute. I did not know he went to UCLA.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I thought he came
from... I'm thinking about that.
I thought they said he came from...
well, he's from Africa.
Yeah, I thought they said he came straight from Africa. But
yeah, I don't know.
Shabazz Muhammad, Kevon Looney, Russell Westbrook.
Wait, you got to say Milwaukee's own Kevon Looney.
Kevon, sure. Yeah, yes, I do. I'm sorry to Kevon.
He's a champion now, too. Actually, he got a championship with Golden State.
Yes, he did.
Didn't play him. Oh, I think he played 2 minutes or something.
Russell Westbrook, Norman Powell, Trevor Ariza, Lonzo Ball, Kevin Love, T.J. Leaf, Drew Holiday, Zach LaVine, Darren Collison, Aaron Aflalo, and Ike Inigobagu. More names I can't pronounce.
Okay, he's the first one to go off the list because we can't even pronounce his last name.
There you go.
So he's gone. Let's see. Number 2. Man. Take off Darren Collison. I've just never been a fan of him. I'm sorry, he's just not that good to me.
Well, I'm taking off Norman Powell, Lonzo Ball, and a guy we can't pronounce.
Yeah, Lonzo Ball is gonna be my third. He's got to go.
I haven't seen enough of T.J. Leaf yet. He's not really playing a big role, but he's an upside guy.
Well, my top 5. First of all, Russell Westbrook and Kevin Love. They played amazing basketball together. That was one of my most fun college teams that I've ever watched. Kevin Love throwing full court chest passes like nobody's ever done. But those two. Third, give me Shabazz, dude. I love how he plays. I don't think he has a big enough role in the T-Wolves. He kind of does.
He's been hurt, too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He's been hurt this
He kind of does, though. They have him like coming off the bench, but he could be a starter on the team. 4, give me Aaron Aflalo.
Sure.
He's a veteran now. He's just one of the best shots I've ever seen. And my 5th will have to be Kyle Anderson. I think he has a lot of potential.
Sure.
I don't. Pop isn't really doing. He's kind of putting him in this role right now.
I almost picked him up on fantasy a couple times, so I guess with that,
he's inconsistent because he's playing behind Rudy Gay and Kawhi Leonard. He's playing behind some stars, so it's just hard for him to get his shine. But he's going to be a good player one day. We'll be talking about him eventually.
I think for me, my starting 5 on UCLA is going to be based off. If I wouldn't pick him up in fantasy, I wouldn't start him on my team. So here we go. Let's go Trevor Ariza, because I did have him on my team.
Okay.
Russell Westbrook, Kevin Love, obviously. Give me... this gets tough. So I have Westbrook, Ariza, Kevin Love. God, I really don't want to say Drew Holiday, but I have to. I have to say Holiday. And give me... You're going to hate me for this, but give me Darren Collison.
Oh, God. You could even took Zach LaVine over him.
I was thinking about it, but I wouldn't pick up Zach LaVine on fantasy. He doesn't... I guess I don't know what I'm expecting from him after an ACL injury and based on how he played at Minnesota, which wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. But he just wasn't, he's like a number 3 or 4 on that team. So
sure.
So that's, I guess he would be a number 4 or 5 on this team too. So,
what's the next team?
All right, last but not least, and we got to get out of here too. We're getting pretty long here. As you expect, this is only we're gonna maybe if we think of some more programs like UConn might be a fun one just because it'd be like, well, who do we really pick? It would be easier. We'd have to start by letting players go because that program has had a bunch of busts in the NBA over the last like 10 years. All right, Kentucky. This is going to take a while because this is the biggest NBA active roster. So Kentucky, let's start. All-stars for the first 4. Boogie Cousins, John Wall, Anthony Davis, Rajon Rondo, Brandon Knight, Tayshaun Prince, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Devin Booker, Willie Cauley-Stein, Julius Randle, Dakari Johnson, Trey Lyles, Nerlens Noel, James Young, Enes Kanter, Eric Bledsoe, Patrick Patterson, DeAndre Liggins, Jody Meeks, Malik Monk, De'Aaron Fox, Jamal Murray, and Andrew Harrison.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
That's pretty tough.
Maybe, I take back... Actually, no, maybe not. I still think the Kevin Durant-led Texas team takes this team down.
Oh, yeah. This is number 1 for sure. This is the best team. But my 3, Trey Lyles, he can go.
Andrew Harrison.
Yep, Harrison can go. And give me Jody Meeks. I never liked Jody Meeks.
Not DeAndre Liggins?
Go. No, Liggins can stay. He can go. But my 5 would be Boogie, John Wall, Anthony Davis.
Okay, can
Those
I just
3 are given.
Real quick? I want to talk about this real quick. Just a minute, and we can get right back to this.
No.
Okay,
Don't interrupt my team. I want Boogie,
my own team.
John Wall, Anthony Davis. I gotta have Rondo.
Yeah.
That's 4, and then the 5th is basically just Man, this is
Bledsoe
this
or
is
Cantor
where
for me.
No, this is where it gets tough here. It's a lot of other players here.
Oh, there's so many. Devin Booker.
You know what? Oh man, this is pretty tough.
All these young guys, it's like, how do you pass them up? But you do
Just give me Devin Booker. I'll take Devin Booker.
I agree. I completely agree with you. Let's do Boogie and Davis, and I'm just gonna say that if both of these players are the leading West vote getters, what does that say about the Pelicans? You have the two best big men in the league, and you are 500.
Oh, that's debatable, but All-Star is a popularity contest. That has nothing to do.
Well,
with...
no, I'm just giving an example. Just because of the fact.
But yes,
they
have two top centers in the league.
Right.
Not the two top. I wouldn't say that, but
their skill sets are just so unicorn-like, and because nobody can drive like that size. Nobody that size can drive like DeMarcus Cousins.
But that's I think that's just a bad put together roster. It's not really.
Oh, definitely.
It's
the GM, the coach.
Yeah,
that's just bad.
That's just a bad put together roster. They need to get rid of one of those players. They need to probably trade Anthony Davis and try to get some big pieces over there.
Right. Yeah, one of them. I think you would get a lot more for Cousins at this point.
Oh yeah.
And you still keep Anthony Davis. I can't get rid of Cousins over Davis though. I keep Cousins.
No, I keep either one, but
right. If you can keep one, I guess you'd be lucky. But
I'd probably keep Anthony Davis, to be honest. I've never been a fan of DeMarcus Cousins' attitude.
Yeah,
on the floor, off the floor, and that's just it. That causes bad team. That causes bad team chemistry between the players and even coaches. Like
he's
that's
got
just,
that Wilt Chamberlain attitude.
He's just I don't know. He needs to. He still his attitude's gotten better, but he does a little too much.
I'm with you, man. All right, so my starting five, real quick before we go. Oh man, Bledsoe's been pissing me off last week, so he's not. He's off. He's off the starting five. He's benched. Let's do Boogie, John Wall, Anthony Davis, Rajon Rondo. I guess same as you. Make that two.
There you go.
Devin Booker. I completely agree. Got all these. I mean, one could make an argument for Julius Randle or maybe De'Aaron Fox, Eric Bledsoe, but yeah, those would be a solid bench. I think give me Texas in the finals if these two teams face.
Oh no, I got to take Kentucky.
I'm going KD all day, man. I'm going
Kentucky's
KD all day.
Dude.
He is the best player.
If John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins ever got on the same team together, they go to the finals.
It might be a murder, but dude, I can't.
They would go to the finals.
I guess Texas doesn't have a good point guard, but Kevin Durant can be a point guard, and oh man, Miles Turner and Avery Bradley, give me that team.
Yeah.
But they still have the best player out of all of these pages. They have the best player. Duke and Kyrie would be fun. But they kind of remind me of Boston, Boston where they don't have like a... that's Kyrie, and if you take away Kyrie, the team's, done.
Right.
But, yeah, I think that's it.
I got to mention, since you mentioned it in week 2 when you beat me in fantasy basketball, I won, and this time
you didn't even put money.
I won 8-3, 8-3 categories.
What
in
was mine?
fantasy basketball.
7-4.
No, you won like
6-5.
Yeah, it was like 6-5, just barely.
Hey, a win's a win, man. I guess it's category.
And it was the first week. It was the first week. I was still getting my team together, trying to figure them out. But you know what? I feel like I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna finish. I know for sure I'm finishing top 3.
I had 5 players who were IL eligible.
Yeah,
I did. It's on God. I could have. I'll go back to when this. Maybe if they can go back in time and show you what my roster looked like.
Yeah. I had 2s. and I still took it.
Everyone is offering me trades for Tyreek Evans. Never thought I'd see the day. But, yeah, it's time for us to get out of here. We will talk to you next Tuesday. I know we've been very sporadic lately, but we're going to try to stick to the Tuesday nights at 7 as best and strict as we can. So, yeah, we'll talk to you next Tuesday. Everyone have a good, productive week, and make 2018 your B, right? All right. Have a good one, everybody. See you.